Hey everyone, sorry about the jump start in the house. I was trying something new. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, I was trying something new, and my wife's like, "Yeah, you need to go." So I had to come back outside. It happens. Anna. So how is everyone tonight? I hope you're doing well. So I have a new phone that I hope to figure out. Anna. Okay, it looks like from my end it looks like it's going well. And some of you guys have commented, so hopefully it's going well on your end too. Oh, no. We have a bunch of family over. We've had a family thing, and so Polk County, Arkansas. So when I went live, I got dirty looks from my wife, and because the kids are playing games and messing around. So hey, Chipper. So she says, "Get out." Well, it's dark outside. I mean, so I couldn't go on the porch. I don't know. So I came out to the truck. Plus, it's cold. It's awesome. Not as cold as it is for Rusty in Michigan, I bet. It's 55 degrees. And, well, welcome. Thank you for coming. I like Bear. He's a cool guy. And, actually, this is one of my favorite shirts. And Shelly, you're not late. We've only been here just a couple minutes. So I got this is one of his crisis response team shirts that says the boss is tall on the back, and it's got dimensions for the arc. Oh, I missed that one. Can't wait for the cold front. Well, the cold front, I guess it just went north of you because it just hit us. I mean, today this evening, bitty boo. Yeah, it was shorts and well, I mean it's always shorts weather for me, but it was shorts and t-shirt weather until about 5 o'clock. And north central Arkansas. Hey, yes. Um, so I lost it. So Tim, I'm very blessed to mm, hope that doesn't happen. I'm blessed to live next to my wife's grandparents, or her grandmother has already passed, and her grandfather just passed. He was a Christian man. He's in heaven. It, anyway, so we have all kinds of family around, and since we live next door and we've got the kiddos, some of the kids come over here. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, so we end up with the kids, which is a fine thing. Uh, Harold Pyle. I almost called you today, Harold. I did. I was looking at a Mr. Clean. I was looking at a those things about movies that they put out before the trailer for Zombieland 2, and I was obviously thinking of you and Gravy. Bobo's thinking of Gravy too. So Harold is a very blessed man. His wife makes wonderful, wonderful gravy. Well, Bobo and I, and Harold, we went down there. I get these crazy hairs to to just go on trips. And my wife, after 22 years, has decided she just go, you know. Um, I'll have to remember that. So we drove down there. We gave him like, I don't know, 12 hours notice. And we drove down there and we invaded his home. And it is good gravy. And his wife was still at work. And when she got home, she made, I think it was pork chops, but all I remember is gravy. It was the greatest gravy ever. And and we had a wonderful time. They're great people. Harold is super duper awesome. Pork chops, yes. And uh, good morning. And so then we slept well. It was great. I got to test out a new cot that is as wide as this truck. There aren't many cots that are big enough for me to roll around and be comfortable. Um, so gravy is king. And so I tried that out. It was wonderful. We slept good. Babo ended up sleeping in a chair, but by his own will, I think. And we got up, and she made breakfast with gravy again. It was wonderful. And we took off on a trip. Um, I think the only part of our trip was to go to Memphis to the pyramid. It I don't know if you've ever heard about Bass Pro Shop has a pyramid, and it's huge. And the sneeze heard around the world. I'll have to get back to that. So we're in. I know I'm going there right now. So we went to Memphis and we got down there to the pyramid, and we're walking around, and it's a giant open. I mean, it's a giant open pyramid, and we're walking around, and Harold sneezes, and it sounds. Oh, it shakes the whole building, and these poor people walking around us are. And he sneezed so loud it reverberated off the walls. It was just poor Harold, but it was just great. I almost peed myself laughing at him at the sneeze and everyone's reaction because I've been around him so much I hear him sneeze all the time, so it wasn't a big deal. Oh, that was so fun. Then we went. We drove because we didn't really have a plan. It was really just kind of a mental vacation. And I assume they needed one too, but I did, and they're my friends, so they went. And we drove. Um, yes, that's. I mean, it's huge. And we actually, if you, which I don't like this, but if you pay $10, you can go all the way to the top of the pyramid, and there's a restaurant up there, and then some overlooks with a glass floor, and it's pretty funny. I forgot. Was it bread pudding that we had? I don't expect everyone to know the answer to this. I'm asking Harold and Bobo if it was bread pudding that was so wonderful. Because we ended up eating while we were up there, and it's a little pricey, particularly when you figure you got to spend $10 to get up there. But I liked the view, and it was fun, and then the food was pretty good. But I don't remember. I guess there it is. Bobo saying it was bread pudding, and I bought something else. I bought something. I don't remember. Oh, those knives. Um, oh, did I miss him here? Oh, J.S. Badger, howdy. And I had a good time. We ended up driving, and just going down. Um, well, we drove past Graceland, and we were just driving. We had no directions. We weren't using GPS or anything, other than to look for flea markets and thrift stores. And we drove around, and we stopped in several that we were. I'm gonna say that we were probably more fair skinned than anyone had been in there in a while, and it was fun. I got a great. Bob was laughing. One lady even asked us. She goes, "You guys lost?" And of course, the three of us were like, "No. How are you?" And we walked around. And we had a great time. I got a 1920s era Boy Scout mess kit for $5 in the bag with nobody's name on. I mean, it's really nice. I wish I was closer to the house and I would run in and grab it. And so it was really cool for $5. And I even told the guy, I said, "Are you sure?" I know because they're $25 for a crappy one, easy. And he's like, "No." He says, "I know what it is." And he says, "If you found it, because there was no organization to this thrift store or this flea market. Stuff was just thrown everywhere and stacked everywhere, which is a kind of shop that I like. And I just happened to notice it because that's kind of one of the things that draws my eyes or Boy Scout stuff. And there it was. It was a pretty good deal. And I don't think we got anything else there. I forget. I forget what all we got. I mean, we shopped. We went to several and had a good time. And that's what I remember of the trip. I mean, because it doesn't matter what we're doing. When I'm with those guys, we're just having fun. We're laughing at everything. You're laughing so hard you're snorting and burping and farting and all that guy stuff. And when where we ended up staying was obviously the international traveler spot. And so there were some Canadian airmen there. Oh, that's right. We went down the Beale Street. We went up, and the guys were so nice. I had a crazy, crazy. Yes, you're exactly right. And Texan, we went to those places. That's where we were. But we went there and we went to. Uh, Baba, was it BB King's? Oh, hold on, everyone. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Okay. Oh, all right. Well, you can turn on the light, Scout. You can turn on the porch light, buddy. Sorry, everyone. Scout's home. Apparently, he was playing basketball with the neighbors. And so yeah, BB King's. And we were upstairs, and the music was great. And my back and neck were hurting so bad. I know the guys. I know they wanted to stay longer, but they left because of me. Um, and it was just the opening act, and he was great. I mean, yeah, they were great. And then we went back later when we went to catch an Uber back to the room, an hour or two later, because we went in a touristy shop, and then we went back. Yeah, there we went in those parts of town too, and that was the first trip in this truck, and I'm like, oh no, not my truck. Oh, it was so much fun. And those same guys, Harold and Bobo, we're gonna go, or I think we're still gonna try to go see the Zombieland 2 when it comes out. We're gonna kind of meet in the middle around Fort Smith and check it out. Let's see. Um, I forget. Oh, the reason I've got new features now on YouTube that I didn't have before. It so the other day, in great part to my core group friends, I was a few thousand hours shy of, or a few thousand minutes shy of 4,000 hours of watch time, which is a significant goal if you're a YouTube creator. And you guys helped me blow apart the 1,000 subscriber thing, so that was wonderful. Thank you guys. And the watch time is all you guys too. So I broke that threshold, not just broke it, but blew it away. And so I've been waiting. And so I don't know. We've been talking for 16 minutes. So about a half an hour ago, I got some new capabilities on YouTube. New ways to add playlists and some new live features and some new access. Hey, Heat Seeker, how are you, man? Um, oh, hold on, that looks like something. Wife is taking her dental hygienist test. Oh man, I don't know. Oh, man, I used to work in a dentist office, so I know how hard the people work for that. I hope she did well. Anyway, so I was playing with the new features, and I got a brand new phone. My other one, the speaker, which is somewhere in here, the speaker got messed up, so it was hard for me to hear. Plus, I've got a lifetime working around sirens and water pumps, and so I'm probably going deaf anyway. And then so when the phone speaker starts to go out, it was hard for me to hear phone calls. And so, which I hated to do, man, phones are so expensive. Oh, they're just stupid expensive. And I got the cheapest one they had. Of course, I like iPhones, but I like it because that's what I'm used to. And so I got this one. The one that I got was the 10R. Well, the iPhone 11 Pro, which I almost got because it's got some better camera features and some better recording options, but not $1,400 worth of better features. Yeah, certainly not $1,400 worth. Let's see. It's been raining here all day until the last hour. Monsoon type rains. I mean, just pouring down. Where Bobo lives, he probably got 7 inches of rain. And of course, I did drive by his house, and all the ditches around his house are just completely flooded. And oh, did it end up? And it's all going to run down there to you too. And so I was trying to get him to let his kiddos out and let them go play in the rain, but no, he's a sensible father. His neighbors weren't, though. His neighbors were jumping bicycles into the ditch and swimming up to their neck and all kinds of craziness, which I remember doing those things when I was little. I say little. I guess my first memory of drainage ditch stuff was uh, in Colorado, in Gunnison, Colorado, which is kind of where my father's side of the family's from. And now it's nasty, but at the time it was fun. These irrigation ditches that run uh, that are totally full of sheep and cow crap. Ugh. But we played in them all day long. Yeah, I remember, and I was little. Man, I bet that memory had to be like from 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, because it had to be before I was 7, because I turned 7 here in Arkansas, and I've been here. I mean, actually, it's kind of funny. I was born here in Arkansas, Then we moved back to Colorado. That's where my dad worked. He was a construction foreman, built little things like skyscrapers and stuff. And anyway, then we came back here. Which how is that relevant to today? I guess it's not. But let's see. Really haven't been doing anything much. I say that. That's not true. I've been pretty hot and heavy in my preparations for SHOT Show, which I'm blessed to. Wes S. That is terrible news. You were eaten by a mountain lion today. I'm so grateful that you took the time to comment and share with us, even though you were eaten. How are you, Wes? How is the boss? I'm assuming she's close by keeping track of you or helping bandage your wounds. But yeah, so I've been getting ready. SHOT Show's not till January. and I'm excited. I always get excited. I get to see the new products before anyone else, and I kind of get a heads up at the cost, and I get to touch and feel and try to break them. And Mr. Clean's with us, and the rule is, and no kidding, I release him like the Kraken. I'm like, if he can break this, we're not interested. And most of the people are like, oh, sure, he can't break it. Well, he broke something last time. And it was one of these heavy duty lanyards, like for a tool, like you has a hook, like a snap ring, and you hook it to a harness or hook it to your belt or something, and you use your tool and it retracts it. Well, he got a hold of it and he's like zip 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 zip. Zoom. It broke, and it was like a braided steel cable, and the little cap snapped and went like way beyond where we could see. I don't know. So it was like, sorry. Chili Cook. Well, that's cool. Arkansas is a cool place. I know. I'm a little biased, but so some of the things for SHOT Show that we've been doing. So Bobo, I was playing with this and I turned on a green light. Does it go? It does go off. There it is. Never mind. I figured it out. So we got new business cards, and we do registration, and we've got our plane tickets and our reservations for the place that we stay, which is not on the Strip, we're very, very blessed that we have a place to stay that has full kitchen, 2 bathrooms. You know, everyone has their own bed, and it's not on the Strip, because Vegas is, and Bobo's laughing at me already. It's pretty intimidating to me. I'm a backwoods Arkansas boy, and there's nothing backwoods about that town. The good thing is the folks that go with me. We're adding a new one this year to our clan, which is pretty exciting. But Mr. Clean and Bobo and I, none of us are big partiers. You know, we just want to go, and the excitement of that trip is SHOT Show itself. So to get to go see all the new gear, all the new gadgets and gadgets, and all the new firearms, a pig in slop. I'm happier than a pig in slop. And to be there with some of the great guys that I go with, it makes it an awesome deal. Uh-oh. That has the look of my mother-in-law, and it is. I say that, I'm pretty blessed. She comes and visits the kids pretty much every evening. And but back to SHOT Show. So this year, we've added a 4th to our team. Steven from Prepping in Progress. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, It's awesome. Him and Kim do a great job, and so he gets to go with us, which is exciting. And and let's see what. Oh my gosh! I'm so excited. Um, Babo. So this year, a couple of years ago, I got first dibs on a new backpack put out by Condor. It wasn't even on the shelf yet, and we got to wear them. I bought all three of us one, and we carried it around SHOT Show, and it was a great pack. We carried it for 2 years, and Wes. So SHOT Show is the premier trade show for everything outdoors, from firearms and holsters to backpacks and boots, tactical gear, socks, archery equipment, pretty much all equipment, not boats and four wheelers, though there's some of that, but it's particularly the firearms industry, anything connected with that. And so with Adventure Frontier, because we sell law enforcement equipment and outdoor equipment, we have access to go to that, because you can only go to that if you're associated with the firearms industry. And so we're kind of on the fringe, but we're enough, since we do the tactical gear that we get in the door. But this year we have, like I said, we had that backpack, and for those of you that don't, hopefully I don't talk about God a lot, but I'm going to right now. So the Holy Spirit hit my heart really hard with Cody from Sojourner Gear, which he's doing Bear Facts with Bear Independent and myself. And he makes those bags, and they are freaking awesome. Well, to go as a vendor, which is what he would be, so Wes, I'm not keeping up with the pounds that I lose, because I get really frustrated by numbers. But this is the same shirt you saw me with last time, and I have all that extra room, and I had to buy a new belt. And so I'm really excited that I got a new belt. And it's smaller, it's not bigger, because my other one I couldn't poke any more holes in. So Sojourner Gear, Cody at Sojourner Gear, I really felt led. No kidding. God put it on my heart to go talk to him and say, Cody, I want you to custom make me a backpack. So a little bit of history is, I've looked at that in the past, and it's really expensive. So, David, it's not till January. I don't know why I'm even talking about it, really. But, preparations, because it takes a long time. Because it takes me a long time to save up the money to go. I don't know. So I custom backpacks to get the company that I wanted to make it. Number one, each backpack was going to be $185, and I had to buy 50 of them. That's so far out of it. Guys, I haven't had 10 sales that weren't Bear Facts in my website's life, that weren't face-to-face, sell to a police department, sell to a fire department, sell to a military unit. Hey, Scout, you coming in?
Yeah.
All right.
I was told there was a man lurking, so I decided to come lurk.
Well, there is a man lurking.
Hello.
We're live. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
If you have not met Scout yet, there he is.
Hello.
So, with that backpack thing, not being able to afford a custom backpack, make sure you read.
Oh, hello.
And it was frustrating because I can't afford that. Well, then Bear Independent got these Bear Facts customized, and I'm like, oh, that seems cool. And a couple other YouTubers had went through Sojourner Gear to get equipment. And Harold's on there.
Hi, Mr. Harold.
And I drove out. I messaged him and I said, look, I'd like to meet you at shop. I want to talk. And we go out there, and I threw the backpack, the one that I like, on the table, and I said, here's what we don't like about it. This, and this. And I asked Mr. Clean and Bobo and Prepping in Progress, I said, what do you guys want in a backpack? And I said, this is it. These are the things we like. This is what we don't like. And I told him, I said, you know, this is what I was going to spend on a new backpack this year. I'd like to be close to that. And so he ran, and he is building us a custom. Nobody has anything the same on the planet. Oh, sorry, buddy. Please don't sit on my toothbrush.
Yeah, I know.
You always need toothbrush and toothpaste.
Yeah.
So Sojourner Gear is making custom backpacks for Adventure Frontier. I'm super stoked. 2 of them are done. We've already seen the prototype. You can't have it till after SHOT Show.
After SHOT Show.
And plus, you have an awesome backpack to begin with.
I do.
And anyway, so the prototype's done. He started production. He's doing 4 for the first run. For myself, for Bobo, I did that in the wrong order. Bobo, Steven, Mr. Clean, and myself. And I told him I want this to be his poster. Since to be a vendor like he is, it's thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands in preparations. The booth fee is astronomical. There's a waiting list years and years long for him to get a table. He'd have to have so much, you have to have so many dollars in sales. Yes, he stags my gear as soon as I set it down. If I set this little battery down, it would disappear.
Oh, yeah. Well, what is it?
None of your business.
I just want to look at it.
Yeah, see?
I promise I.
Anyway, so he's making, I told him to pick the colors that he wants. I did ask him to make sure that Sojourner Gear, the tag that said it, is on all 3 sides, or 2 sides in the back. It's got a big chunk of Velcro for morale patches because I love patches. And which was one of the things from last year at SHOT Show. Some of my subscribers on YouTube here were like, stop showing us the crap. Let's see the real stuff. Well, I don't get to film inside the show very much. So really, all I can share a whole lot of is at the end of the day, hey, here's some of the swag that we got. Plus, the patches are exciting to me. Bobo likes patches too. And so I'm just so excited. And I'm like, Cody, I want to wear your pack that nobody's seen in quality that you just don't find quality as good as his. What are we looking at, buddy?
Oh, I'm just saw that light turn on back there.
That's the truck light. Oh, no, that's the back porch. So, I'm going to find you a mushroom patch, Wes. All right, buddy. I love you.
I like the picture that he sent you.
And so I want to take, yes, when we finally get all of them, we'll take a video. But I told them I wanted this to be your poster. So when somebody asked me about my backpack, because they did last time when we were carrying the new Condor bag. So I know it's going to happen again. Only this time I'll be able to go, well, this bag was made custom. Okay, Wes, I won't read it, I promise. So this bag was made custom for us, and this is the man who did it. And I got a big stack of his cards, and I'm gonna hand them his card. We're gonna go to an extra day of the show where the people that sell the fabrics he uses and the buckles and the threads and all the stuff he uses to make this high quality gear. He's gonna make us a list of the people he'd like to talk to or if he was there, where he would go. And I just feel the Lord's leading me to help him grow. He makes awesome equipment, and I like to buy things one time. Because if I buy something of quality, then that's all I have to do is buy it once. So I'm really excited. He chose the colors. He chose scouts walking with my flashlight. He chose the colors, and we all wanted them differently. There's no way I can read that after I got blinded by my son. I'll come back. And so he chose OD green, which is my favorite, tan, which is Bobo's favorite, multicam, and woodland camo. And so when I found out the colors, I immediately sent a text to the guys. He's trying to do it again. To the other guys going and said, Bobo wants a tan, pick your colors. Because it's a win-win. I like all of those patterns. And so the one that got left out in the cold is the woodland camo. And so that's going to be my new pack. It's awesome. It's got a Nalgene bottle holder on the side. But if you're not carrying a Nalgene, you suck it up and it gets smaller. It's got carry pouch or carry straps on the bottom. But they tuck up. So they're not swinging around. They're tuck up out of the way. It's just, you can't wait to show it. I'm really excited. Really excited. And so what else have we been getting ready? We finally joined the National Shooting Sports Foundation, which has been a little cost prohibitive, particularly since we don't have our FFL yet. But it seemed important, and we immediately got a blessing in the same email. They talked about that. We got a discount on some of the things that we're doing at SHOT Show. So it's between the Sojourner gear thing and that, I really feel that God's got great things for us. And it's always a wonderful trip. And to be able, I'm pretty certain Cody doesn't follow my YouTube channel. So if you guys have never met Cody from Sojourner Gear, he is a happy, wonderful, strong person that's just a joy to be around. He's an insane worker. He works hard at everything he does. It makes me want to be better to be around him. And to know that I may be able to do something to lift him up, to sell some more of his equipment or get him more customers that make their own customized stuff. I really think that God's got great things in store for him. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to help. And if it doesn't work out that way, if all that happens is he sold 4 bags, then he sold 4 bags. That's still a blessing. But SHOT Show, just the business cards that we hand out, have done so much for me that I just really want to share the blessing. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention. Lone Star Prepper. So he does, it's all fabric stuff. So if you want like a fabric holster, then I know he can. Like on my plate carrier, I've got just a square. Of course, on my 17, I've got a TLR1 light, and it's just a adjustable Velcro wrap. I know he could make that kind of stuff. I don't know about Kydex or any of that. I am looking forward to being able to share the info. And yes, Wes, it doesn't take something very shiny to distract me. Eagle Gap, if your neighbor was just like me, then you'd have a weird neighbor. You'd have a happy neighbor, but a weird neighbor. Let's see. What else has been going on? I guess that's pretty much it. That it takes a lot to go to that trade show. And of course, I'm really blessed. Mr. Clean is a blessing because, of course, he's like the treasurer for every organization that he's in, and so he's always thinking of the dollar and how to save and squeeze a penny. And so for me to know, first off, and it's got to be better for Bobo because it used to be Bobo is I take care of the paperwork throughout the year and the you know the business license and all that. And JS Badger, thank you for sharing that. I know it's awesome if you made it. But it's just it takes so much. So I'm like, okay, Bobo, you're gonna do travel in the hotel. If you just figure that out for me, I'll make sure that we get our credentials and we get in the door and we get all the registration done and and everything that we can get out of the show and and then that's because it takes quite a bit. And just because you've been once, every year you have to reapply, and they go through and they really go through your credentials, and they'll tell you no, or they'll say we need better clarification on this. Sorry, that's a message from my wife. Not to me, just to some family. And but yeah, and so to do all that, it takes some work. Well, and then Mr. Clean comes along, and so he handled the housing side of it, and so Bobo had to do the travel. And then not knowing the dollars and cents of it, I know was driving Mr. Clean crazy. And so now he's got a way where everything's itemized, and of course we split everything 4 ways, 4 now, with prepping in progress coming. We split everything 4 ways, and so I'm sorry, I'm playing with something noisy. And so it's nice to know here's the breakdown, here's where everything's at. This was the budget for shirts. We got a couple shirts, and we saved money because they were on sale. So here's the new numbers, and I don't have to stress with that because I stress like you wouldn't believe over things like that. Not my own money. If it's just mine, if I get there and I don't have enough money to eat, I'm not going to starve in a few days, and I can make it do. But when I start taking people that are important to me, people that help me do what I do, Bobo is my best friend. I couldn't get through the week without talking to him and leaning on him, and he helps me in so many ways. Mr. Clean is amazing. He's my strength. He's not my common sense because we are batshit crazy when the two of us are together. We have to have Bobo and Steven from Prepping in Progress to keep us from shaking with excitement and exploding. And then this year to add in Steven to get a common sense view of how to make better business decisions, better products. So I don't just invite them to go to SHOT Show because that's not how it works. I'm offering you a piece of my heart, a piece of my life, and to be able to spend a couple grand to go on a trip with men who aren't about the Vegas side of the trip. Now I like the restaurants and I like the show. I've had a picture taken with Optimus Prime and Pikachu and all the little kitty things during the day. We went to a couple shows. We go to do touristy things. I went to Hoover Dam with the guys. It's wonderful. but to also know that, because it's a town that changes at dark. So when it starts to get dark, the town changes to a much crazier environment, and it's okay with them, and certainly with me, for us to just go back to the room and watch the Curse of Oak Island we watched last year. I think they were having a week long marathon of it, and just to be able to sit in the room and decompress is pretty awesome. And we do goof off. We found, I forget the name of the place. I want to say Hofbrau, but I'm not sure. It's a uh, German pub, like a restaurant pub, and it was awesome. And it's just down the street a little bit from the place we stay. And I say that it's far enough that I didn't want to walk there. We walked back, but we walked back because there was a couple stops we made, and it was great. I mean, not that I'm a big polka music guy, but there was a live band playing German polka music. Uh, it was great. I had what what did I have? I'm sure it was sausage of some kind. All I really remember is the two small containers of beer that I had, and I don't drink very often, so I particularly don't because I don't drink when I'm home. Number one, you never know when I'm going to get an emergency that I need to respond to, and I need to be as sharp as I can be, and so I just don't. I'm not against somebody having a drink, so that's not what I'm saying. Uh, I just don't want to be. I don't want an emergency call to come in and for me to respond and not be as sharp and thoughtful as I am, because if you're here, I get distracted pretty easy. So can you imagine me with a little bit of alcohol on board? I couldn't tie my shoes. I'd start to tie and I'd go, oh, look, what is that? And German beer and polka music was what was the best thing. Um, and the schnitzel, and it was fun. And this year we're going to take Steven, and there's a special surprise for him. Oh, no. JS Badger, you probably know me from from as many different angles as anyone, and so I appreciate that from you a great deal. But back to the story of when I'm away, I don't mind. When I know, number one, we flew to Vegas, and we're in and out of places, and I don't. Even though I could take my firearm. It's extra hassle, and I don't do that. I should. I totally should. If you were asking me if you should, I would tell you to take your firearm, but I don't. And I probably don't because I know that I would carry it, and then I would not go to the German place and have a beer because I just wouldn't. It's not that I wouldn't enjoy company and being there and that. I just wouldn't drink. And since that's really the only time of the year, short of Okie Storm Chaser, dang it, bringing me root beer, cream, rum, which is phenomenal, especially with crushed ice. Oh my gosh. But I don't drink. So when I'm going to Vegas with dinner, I drink. I mean, so and that's one of the reasons I don't carry. Absolutely. even if I had a week where I wasn't subject to being called in for emergencies, if I'm around my family, number one, I'm going to have a firearm. My house is 5 feet the other side of that door. And before I left the house, I went to, because I've got a spot right by the door, and I clipped my Glock, and my 43 is on my hip. And I'm in my own yard. It's not that I'm scared of my own yard. It's just part of being prepared. It's just like my wallet or my pocket knife. I just don't go anywhere without it. And so because of that, I don't feel the urge to drink around the house. Well, don't get me wrong. I have other bad habits. Uh, I mean, not. I guess drinking would be the worst one. My habits are, ooh, I need two of those, so I spend money on stuff like that. But and I and I believe it or not, I'm not really a social person. I don't like going to social gatherings. A prepper meetup is completely different than a neighborhood block party. My comfort level is completely different because I don't want to talk about the things those people want to talk about because I don't care. I don't care how the Dallas Cowboys are doing. I don't have time. If I have time to stop and watch enough football to know those things, then I needed to be fixing fence, or I needed to be storing more food, or I needed to be at work, or I needed to be doing something in that time. I needed to be playing basketball with Scout or talking food. My daughter thinks she's a foodie. Um, I've got other things I needed to be doing, and so I don't do those things. So those kind of events just don't excite me. Anyway, so I'm excited. The whole thing of this was testing new stuff and new capabilities. I'm amazed that 12 people have still hung around for 55 minutes or 52 minutes. I hope you like where the channel's going. I hope the new camera helps a little bit, or the newer phone, because I use an iPhone to film. And I got a new tripod, and I'm thinking of getting a better microphone. Um, just to try and make the quality better. And I might change editing software. I don't like to do a lot of editing because I want what you see to be as close to this live as it can be. Because I want to share with you who I am, and I want to share with you the things that I'm passionate about, which is being prepared. And so sometimes I don't want to edit, and I just don't like to edit. If I make a mistake, I just want you guys to see it, I guess. Anyway, I missed a couple comments, so. Lone Star, that is something that, so many people, I'm getting on a soapbox, so many people take for granted is they carry a firearm, they put it in a holster, and that in their mind it must be in some magic bubble that dust and debris and oils from your body and moisture don't get to that gun once it's in the holster. And so it just drives me batshit crazy when I pass somebody and I see their firearm and I'm like, oh, that's cool. What are they carrying? It doesn't matter what they're carrying because I see a spot of rust on the beaver tail, or I see dirt crammed into the waffle of their grip, I can only imagine what their breech is like. And so, 2 thumbs up, clean it up, oil it up, make it great. And if you haven't cleaned your firearm lately, if you carry it, it needs attention. Absolutely. I'm not a big open carry guy. I certainly am not against open carry. I'm not against it at all. I prefer concealed carry, and that's probably because my law enforcement side of me is like, I just don't. I just don't open carry. I like to see open carry rigs. My friend Capgun has the coolest holster I've ever seen. It's a custom leather holster for his firearm. It's awesome. Um, it's great, and and I think one of the reasons that I'm so set is my friend Marshall, who quit his job as an executive for fast food, like the chief financial officer for a big growing restaurant. He just retired and he moved to Alaska to be a guide. Which I'm so jealous. He's coming to town in a couple weeks. So Marshall moved, and in his house he had a couple boxes of just some backpacks and some outdoor equipment that just he couldn't take with him. And in there he left a Haley Solutions inside the waistband holster, which is the most comfortable inside the waistband holster I've ever had. It's like not having a holster. It's awesome, and it's $90, so I would never have bought that for myself. I'd buy it for somebody else, but I wouldn't spend that on myself. And so I think that's really. I guess might have had a bad. I might have had a bad vibe come off of a guy. I say it like I might. I know this is exactly it. There was a gentleman in our area who open carried in a thigh rig, which is whatever you like. It doesn't matter to me. But he open carried in a thigh rig, and we're at an open carry walk, and somebody asked what he was carrying. I'm certain it was a 1911, which is it's irrelevant. And we're at an open carry walk, and I wasn't even there yet, but I heard this from 2 or 3 or 4 of my closest firearms friends, and he just whipped it out and showed it to a guy, and they're like, "Whoa, you need to put that back in the holster." And then I've seen him at somewhere else where he's got the same rig on, only he's carrying an airsoft gun. And I ask, because I know he's not a felon. I know this. I mean, I know him enough to know yesterday it was a real 1911. Why is it an airsoft gun today? And he shared with me, and there was a stressful situation he was going to, and he was trying to manage it as security, and he didn't want to get in trouble for having a loaded firearm. And so I'm still flabbergasted because now he was projecting that I have a weapon, I'm going to defend the weak, I'm going to use it as necessary, but he didn't have the capability to do that because it was a toy. It wasn't an environment for the toy. You want to play airsoft all day long? Go on. Have a great time. I've done it myself. It's fun. But Main Street is not the place to be carrying a 1911 that's an airsoft gun because you can't defend anyone with that. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So that in itself is probably the main force of me not getting a good, comfortable, safe outside the holster or outside the waistband holster is because of that. And there's 1,000 people there's 20 that I can name off the top of my head that open carry, that I think do it in a very classy, professional, upbeat, safe, proud to see them doing it. Oh, look at that. I'm so proud of them moment that I don't know why one affects my mind so much more than the other. But for me, concealed carry is the way to go. When I open carry, it's on a duty belt, and it kind of goes with the rest of the uniform. So that may have some of it too. Is there's so often that I have to carry it outside that I don't necessarily want to advertise it all the time. You're right. Lone Star open carry is not for everyone. I just hope that they carry all the time. And I don't care how they carry. Ankle holster, thigh holster, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you carry 3. Carry your firearm. I think everyone should carry one everywhere they go. Which is, I'm blessed to be at a police department that everyone feels that way. Is if someone is carrying a firearm and one of two things happens, we see it, we're not worried about it. Somebody who's open carrying, is not the person that is going to gun us down at a gas station or going to go into the grocery store and start shooting people. That may happen. I'm not saying that it never does. But statistically, that's not it. Just carry. You should carry all the time. If you're in this area and you want training or practice or time to learn and be more comfortable with carrying a firearm, send me a message. There's actually a few, I can't see who all's in here, but there's a few folks that are taking a firearms class, a basic pistol class, which is a basic pistol class on my request. And so it's basic, but they're going to titrate it to effect, which means if they can handle more than just some basic drills, they're going to move up, because the instructor is a great friend of mine. He's a wonderful firearms instructor, and short of tactics, he won't teach anyone police tactics, but all the drills and all the work on marksmanship and speed and drawing and movement. And so he's going to teach the class up to their level and then a little more to challenge them. So he just called it basic pistol, but I'm excited about that because a couple people that are going to go there carry every day. They've had some training, but it's been a while, so it's always good to get more training. Training is important. I'm running really long. Good Lord. For a night that I was going to pop on and try some new things for 15 minutes, I jabbered on for over an hour. So the changes in the channel, I hope to improve the quality. Obviously, I've changed videos where they come out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Hey, Mark. And that way it's a good, consistent thing. I'm still putting them out at 8 in the morning. That way you've got all day. You get the notification when you're hopefully a little bit into coffee. And it goes through well. And because then there's 2 other days a week that I'm doing other videos. Let's see. That's it. That's where I'm at. I'm always interested in what you guys want to talk, or what if I'm not saying something that you want to hear. I mean, not that I'll say what you want to hear, but I meant if there's something that I'm not clear on or not talking about in a way that you understood, or if you want more in depth, let me know. I'll do my best. I'm certainly not the smartest guy in the room, but I know some smart people, and I don't hesitate to ask questions or tell you guys I don't know. But I like to look things up. I like to research. I like to practice. I've been playing with this little fire starter wheel guy. Like there's the flint. I've been practicing with it, and I'm not quite there yet without a fire starter, but I've been practicing with it. And anyway, and I missed. Let's see. So Mark Chase, you just got back from Puget Sound's Viking meetup. Man, I'd have liked to have been a bug on the wall there. Oh my gosh, Tim, 6 in the morning. I'm so sorry. Oh, maybe I can make it later. Lone Star Prepping. So the thing about comms are, well, I mean, I'm really just starting to get into it because I've always been in a group where I've had the radio guy, and I still do. I have not. So he just asked if I've got my license yet. So I'm using the app, which I can't show you because it's on the phone, and I'm going through the app, and shut up, Bobo, you don't have it either. And so I go through the app, and all the questions I get wrong, I know everyone says just learn the right answers and go through it again. That's not how I'm wired. So when I get a question wrong, I have to go to, I've got a Now You're Talking book, or I get on to the AARL, I think is it, the website, when I find the right answer. And so I'm slowly getting there. But I finally have the comms and the truck where I want it. I've got a 25 watt mobile that I've got a magnet on. I just slap on top. I've got behind this seat, there are 2 just regular Walmart FRS GRMS radios. And then behind me, there are 2 handheld ham radios, one with a stubby antenna, one with the long whip. And then I have in the back, I've got a box that I've got a couple of different other odds and ends handhelds and a CB radio that I'm going to put in the truck. Man, I can't even imagine doing my tech. I'm a little overwhelmed. I've been saying for years and years, oh, you need to have your ham radio. Well, I'm on the radio every day. I mean, on emergency radios all day. I'm not shy to talk. I do things like he's right out there. I do things like I think before I hit the button, but I'm just not I don't have my license yet, but I'm working on it. Okay, Tim. Well, I was feeling bad about 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, so now I'm talking to Mark, or he's talking about the Viking meetup in Puget Sound. Hey, Master. Our speaker couldn't make it, so we did an ad hoc earthquake drill. Man, that's fun. I hope that went well. That sounds like it had good potential to be a meeting in itself. And I say that because here in Northwest Arkansas, I think on the Arkansas Preparedness Network's Facebook, I could be wrong, somebody posted they posted that the New Madrid Fault is waking up, which won't have a terrible effect on us here, but communication-wise, to draw back into what we were just talking, that's going to be a big deal. I see ham radios just making a huge difference in that. Ozark Prepared. You are one heck of a photographer. Man, he posts some of the best pictures. If you don't follow Ozark Prepared on Instagram and Facebook, you are missing out. He does some of the coolest. Man, I have never been in as cool places as he's got pictures of. Tank, I think so too, but I'm certainly not not well versed in the Oklahoma side of it, and it just makes me think of all the things people are doing. Oh, the fracking's going to kill us all and all that. Mark Chase, I am glad that it went well. What a great way. One of my favorite meetups I've ever been to, and it was a Viking meetup, ironically. Well, kind of. It was kind of. Hey, Free Spirit, how are you? That's somebody else who posts some awesome stuff on social media. We were at a meeting, and we'd rented or reserved a pavilion for a few hours, and it was past that time, and the other people showed up, and so we just instantly, it was like, well, we need to move, and we looked around, and there was another pavilion, and everyone just picked up, and we went to our vehicles, and we drove around to this other pavilion, and it was great. It was awesome the way people didn't even need direction. It's like, oh, well, we know we need to do this, this, and this. We did it. It's not near as exciting as making a class out of it, but it was exciting. That was also not to say I'm super shy, but it was also the first time I actually sat down and talked with a YouTube personality that I followed and have followed for a long time. And it was the first time that I got to sit down and actually have a conversation. It was pretty awesome. It was just awesome. Ozark prepared, of course. Now, I didn't make any of that up. You earned every accolade people could give you. Terry, I was talking about you. Oh my goodness. Day before yesterday with Steven from Prepping in Progress. You have blessed both of our lives. Man, you're just great. When you comment, when you share with me, the things you say just open my heart and open my mind and make me think in directions that I'm too stubborn to think in. And I appreciate every time you take the effort to comment. It's not scary. It's wonderful. God has put you in my life, and I'm super thankful. You are a blessing to me. Free Spirit, you spoil me. You're entirely too nice to me. How did I get on that? Yes, Free Spirit says Ozark puts out great things too. That is exactly what I started talking about a minute ago. Often makes me hungry though. Makes me hungry. And the picture, and I can't remember exactly. It's a beautiful, misty morning. There's the campfire and the skillet, and it's just sitting there right at the right angle. Oh my gosh! I was like, I need to get up and go outside right now and cook a trout. I just remembered thinking that. Terry, I would like that. And Steven would like that too. He thinks a lot of you, which I don't think he's on here tonight, but that's irrelevant. Is he appreciates your mind and who you are as well. So it is my time, which you guys, I know I always say good morning, but I say good morning all the time. So it could be 9 o'clock at night, and I'm probably going to say that I'm going to do good morning. Tomorrow is going to be a pretty busy day. I've started going to a Flash puzzle, and there's really no subject. We're just kind of jaw-jacking. I have degenerative disc, which I've talked about a couple times, and apparently a firefighter police officer has a stressful job. And so I've been getting some pretty negative headaches, which have sucked. And I've been going to the doctor, just like I tell you guys, if you can go to the doctor to fix it, go to the doctor and get it taken care of. And so in the morning I have therapy, physical therapy, to teach me how to stretch my neck to help the headaches, but it's also to relieve the degenerative disc, which has been really making me way better. They give me drugs, and mind you, I take them because I'm a prepper, but I don't take them. So I just kind of collect them. I've taken, what's the name of it, Bobo? I forget. Every now and then I take one. It's, gosh darn it, I don't remember what. Tramadol. I take a Tramadol every now and then, but for the most part, I don't want to take them. I either want to have them when I'm really, really hurting, like broken ankle or broken arm hurt, or I just don't. Or I want to have them if somebody else is hurting. So I don't really take the pain medicine. So plus, if I get a call, I don't want to be stoned. You know, I don't want to be out of my mind from medication and not be able to help somebody. So these stretches are really helping. And then we have the funeral after that. And sheepdog Tony's with you. It's I don't know. It's the same thing about alcohol. Let's see. I had a subscriber that asked me to do a video. My favorite few preps. Man, that's kind of a loaded question. Because currently, my favorite preps are bulk bandages. And I know that's crazy, and Bobo's probably laughing himself so crazy. Is because I've learned in the last, I learned this a long time ago, but I've actually put thought into it that I can get 48 bandages for about $15. 4-inch cling, which I use the crap out of rolled gauze. Like it's going out of style. And I realized that I didn't have a lot of it. So my consumable medical preps are probably my favorite prep right now, more than anything. And I would even put it in my top 3 categories. Because I know that what I have to offer people is my knowledge of first aid. And so that's yeah, that's just my, and of course food. I love food. I want to have food. I don't want my kids to go hungry. There's seldom a week goes by that I don't buy some kind of fill a bucket with this type food. I've missed a whole bunch of comments, but so in the old days I had to do this, but now this new phone lets me do it on the side. I still can't focus. I got to concentrate. No bueno for sure. Turmeric, which I may be saying it wrong, is something that's kind of new to my arsenal. I started listening to another YouTube channel talking about it, and so I'm still kind of new to that. A neurosurgeon. I'll have to talk to my doctor about that, Terry. Yes, Westhold Forge. That's what I do. I actually felt really crappy because the last 3 months or 6 months, I guess, when I got the Tramadol prescription and I filled it that day, and I took one, and then I don't know, maybe 3 more times over that 6 months I took another one, and then I said, well, I'm going to the pharmacy. I've got refills. Look on the bottle. Well, they had expired, so I couldn't get any of those refills because it had been too long, and so I wasted opportunity for a $4 prep of pain medicine, and I even have the greatest way to store it. I have a refrigerator that's behind a locked door, so my kids and their friends can't get to it. I have a secure place. So I should. I don't know why I didn't, but I won't make that mistake again. JS Badger, my sources are really easy, brother. I go to Alma to A to Z, and there's another variety store in Fort Smith. I'll try to schedule. Like, I try to meet Stephen and Kim from Prepping in Progress. I almost always message them. A couple guys from Clarksville. I want to get Bear Independent, TJ over there, and we just kind of make the circle together. And I mean, Bear hasn't done it yet, but that's the plan. Is we make a day of being together, getting to know each other, and scouring the river valley for preps. Free spirit. So tomorrow is a no bueno day to call. I've got therapy in the morning, and then we're burying Grandpa, my wife's grandfather, the only grandfather I've ever known. I don't want to talk about it because I'll get crybaby-ish, but that's tomorrow. So catch me on Tuesday. Please, I didn't mean it like that. You can call me whenever you want. Tomorrow's going to be a bad day. Hold on, I don't know what I did. There's no way I can say that right. Hyaluronic acid? I've never even heard of that, Mark. I'll have to look that up. Uh, Thank you, Frank. I'll message him and get that. Deep Southwest Virginia. How are you? Welcome. We are certainly not normally here this long. I say that I'm pretty new to the live stream game. I do love me some yard sales. Fortunately, my kids do too. My daughter is a wheeling and dealing machine. Thanks, Frank. So my wife's grandfather passed away Thursday, and he's the only grandfather I've ever known. Through everything from my mother's father killed my grandmother, like was a murderer. Obviously, wasn't in my family. On my dad's side, there was lots of things that I didn't. There were several stepdads, and I wasn't involved in them. We lived across the country. My dad left home at 14, so he wasn't around. So I don't have a whole lot of family. And then I marry the most wonderful woman in the world, and so I become part of this family that is led by one of the greatest men ever. a rock for God, a loving, strong man who always had time for me. He made time to share with me, to give me advice. He would he would tell me straight, "You're making a mistake. You're gonna make it. You got to make it, but just know it's a mistake." He would pray with me. He would pray for me. I miss him already. I am certainly a better man because of him. And it opened up a need, a desire to learn more from my elders than I never had that. My parents' age was as old as people as we hung around. I was blessed to have grown up in around military folks. Um, between my mom and dad being in the military and the VFW that I grew up with, and scouting and and Air Force stuff, and all the things that I used to grow up, I still never had any of. I didn't have an older man to look up to that was truly older than me until Pop. We called him Pop. And when we moved to Arkansas, we moved next door because him and his wife were getting older, and we wanted to be close so we could help them. He taught me to garden. I had never planted anything until Pop helped me plant my first tomatoes. And I love tomatoes. I love growing tomatoes. I like growing tomatoes from seeds. And I don't know. He's made me a better man, and he certainly has made me a better Christian. Um, I didn't have that as a child either. My family um, wasn't spiritual or religious either way. I found out later in life what their beliefs were, um, but they didn't believe in organized religion because they'd been hurt. And so when I became part of my wife's family, um, which is my family, it's one family, that that's when I started learning more about truly being truly being who God wanted me to be. And it super sucks that he's gone. And my kids have grown up next to him, so they're devastated. He was my son's hero. He he was a coach. He was a local school board member. Just a great man. It just sucks. Doo doo doo. Sorry, I'm going back through. I should pay more attention, but I don't. I don't do that all the time. So thank you guys for the prayers and thoughts. Um, pray for my wife. I mean, you should pray for her every day. She's married to me, but this is an exceptionally rough time for her. I don't know where you went. I hope you're still there. It does help, and I'm Pardusk. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. Yes, I have no doubt that he showed up at the gates the other day, and St. Peter's like, "Man, where have you been? We miss you. We're ready for you, and your wife is right here. Just come on." And I'm excited. I'm happy. This is happiness. I can't. Uh, I imagine that would be tough, Mark. Like I said, they were never connected with my life, so I mean, I had a great grandmother on one side and my grandma on my dad's side, but they weren't much more than a phone call or an occasional holiday. David, I'm still really cautious about live streams. I don't know why when I get on here, you guys make me feel like I do fine at it. It's just like content. Regular videos, it's feast or famine. It's I'll get in a few days where I'll make 5 or 6 videos, and then it'll be a few days that I couldn't make a video to save the world. And live streams, it's to begin with is I like to watch Wes S's live streams. I'm a stalker. I very seldom comment, but I like to watch them. I like TJ at Bear Independent, Tactical Tuesdays, and I like his live streams, and so I find myself watching for theirs, and I don't want to try. I'm not gonna try to do a video when they're doing one or when they schedule one because I don't want to miss theirs. Patriot Plumber, nice to see you. So, Baba, what was the last prep I got from the tractor place? The spice box was the last thing. It's a 30 cal ammo can with 6 different spices in it, and they're awesome. That's what I'm giving everyone for Christmas this year. I slap an NWA Prepper sticker on the side. I may even put them on my website. I'm in love with them so much. Thank you, Terry. This is definitely outside my comfort zone. I don't believe you, JS Badger. Not at all. You are a plethora of wisdom. Free spirit, really? When I record something, I get to cheat. I have my little Write in the Rain notebook that I have my stuff, and you can't see it, but it sits right there on my dashboard, and I can glance down, and I've got my talking points there, and it's so much easier than this. Westhold, there is always a need for us to be doing more food preps. And to me, food is power. Food is, because of parts of the world where I know that they are controlled by people who control the groceries. It just scares me that I don't know what I would do when my kids are hungry to get food, and so I don't want to be part of that. I know I'm being silent. I'm trying to read your comments. Tim, my plate carrier, I have no idea what model it is. It is a Blackhawk, and it's a significant plate carrier. It can carry 11 by 14 plates, and it comes all the way around and overlaps even on me, and that's a lot of plate carrier. But it work. The one I have is, I forgot who made it. It's just like the Condor Sentry. It just barely holds plates, because that's really, really all that I care about in my heart and lungs, I guess. Those are prepared. See, I just make the bloopers and I don't even cut them out. Tony G, have a good night. Thank you for being here. So, Ozark prepared. How far are you from 1,000? I mean, I know I could look, but because I want you to be there. And Prepping in Progress is working on a. I don't know if you guys have ever. I think he only does it on Patreon. Bear Independent does this thing where he'll get several creators, and we'll just sit around a picnic table, and he'll pull out a card with the questions from one of his folks, and none of us get time to think about it. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's okay. XYZ happens. How would you do it? And you just go around the table, and so that's awesome. So what I'm hoping to do is and I'm sure there are tons of creators all over the place that I just don't pay attention to or haven't got up with yet. But Northwest Arkansas has several creators that I followed even before I knew they were within a couple hours of me. Creators. So I've thought about kind of getting out and getting the word out and getting everyone to come together and getting kind of a roundtable discussion of topics just from some creators. And even if you don't have a channel, Ozark Prepared, you'd be welcome at that table anytime. So I won't say it again. Parlusk, here's the deal. Message me or go to nwaprepper.com and scroll down and there's a message block, or send me an email at travis@adventurefrontier.com, travis@adventurefrontier.com, and I will be glad to do that, but you'll have to take something in trade because I won't just take stuff. Ozark Prepared, you keep at it. You'll get there in no time at all. I started this channel 5 years ago, totally because I watched a video, Pennsylvania Prepper Howdy, from Southern Prepper 1. And I watched his channel. I mean, he posted a video and I was on it. I watched it. And he's actually, him and Buck Run 11 are two creators that really inspired me. Among others, Patriot Nurse was great. And then Maine Prepper, I miss Maine Prepper. Those were ones that really got me to thinking that I could do this. And then some others that I still follow, Viking Preparedness. Those were ones that made me think I can do this too. And Southern Prepper 1 did a couple of videos that to this day, if I could replicate it, man, I would do one. He did it like a scenario, but it was like a first person scenario where the one that comes to mind the most is he's in his Radio Shack and he's talking about a patrol that's out, and he's like talking like I'm sitting in the room, and he's talking about specifics about how this patrol is going, and they hadn't radioed in for a couple days. And I enjoyed it so much that I said, well, I can do that. And then I watched a buck run 11. Well, it's funny. Pennsylvania Prepper just brought up a first aid challenge. So Buck Run 11 had a prepper challenge, and the first challenge that he had was to store long-term food. And I did it, and I videoed it, and I sent it in, and it was awesome. I had so much fun, and he had the drawing, and he took like a pizza cardboard ring, and everyone who entered was a little wedge on that, and his wife threw it way up in the air, and he shot it with an arrow from a longbow, and the arrow stuck, and that was the winner. And I did that for several months or several of his challenges, and it made me want to start a channel. I'm like, man, if this cool guy can do it, I can do it too. And I have, and I enjoy it, and I get a lot out of it. Let's see. Guerrilla gardening. I experience some of that from time to time. Yeah. So Parlusk, I'm kind of worried about that sometimes too. I'll find a fluctuation in my subscribers, like 200 or 300 down, back and forth, and I mean, I guess I don't worry about it too much, but so Pennsylvania Prepper, watching your first aid challenge. While I didn't enter, it made me want to get better at first aid kit. Man, that's awesome, and I hope that's what all my videos do, is they make you want to think or do things more. Richard Wells, good morning, brother. How are you? It's 9 o'clock at night. Good evening. Richard Wells is an awesome, awesome, awesome dude. He has saved me on a dark and stormy night, and that's a story for a different day. Patriot Plumber, you don't have to be behind the camera. You can be in front of it. Just come on out. Come on over. Lone Star Preps. Yeah, it does. It actually does get easier. So the giveaways, the prepper challenges, of course, I'm emulating the ones that Buck Run 11 did that I enjoyed doing. And I've enjoyed these too. And it's time for another one, actually. But I just did one of my, because I have a Patreon channel too. Because I had a couple videos that YouTube never posted. And this was when I was below 1,000, but way before I had 4,000 hours of watch time, which, by the way, we're at. And so I didn't understand it, and I was hurt, and I was just devastated. And the people that I did that video for weren't, they had went away from YouTube. And so I did that. And so I did a challenge for them. And so I had to take an extra couple of weeks to recoup the finances before I can do another one. Well, Richard, I'm glad you're back home. I don't like you being gone. It makes me nervous when I don't have a flank covered. Patriot Plumber, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm probably fixing to call it an evening as well. Pennsylvania Prepper, you should. It doesn't, well, they made a couple changes to Patreon, but they're not bad changes. And for the most part, I don't double post. But my Patreon channel is more like a live stream all the time to me, and so I spill my guts a lot different there. Doo-doo. Lone Star Prep. So our cold front came through in northwest Arkansas this evening. Dropped it from 80s down. It's 55 degrees outside the truck right now. Tim, doing videos, if you did them years ago, you know there's some great things that come out of it. Tonight, these conversations are priceless. The friendships that I've had, if it wasn't for, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think if it was for my YouTube channel, I would have ever actually got face-to-face time with TJ from Bear Independent, and he's becoming a really good friend of mine. And I'm not here, not on the camera. I mean, aside from that, he's a good guy, and I think God's put him there in a way for me to know him away from here that I like. I know not everyone likes him, but I do. And we don't have the same religious beliefs. I mean, our core belief is the same, but I don't follow Torah. I don't even understand Torah. It's not that I don't want to. I try to learn. I try to be considerate. But I'm Southern Baptist. I am, and I'm firm in my beliefs. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm terrible at sharing. I will one-on-one because I think the Lord puts the words in my mouth or on my heart, and as long as I say what He says, then I do okay. But JS Badger, I'm loving it. Maybe time for an NWA camp out. You know, that's funny because the APN guys are kind of hinting at me, Arkansas Preparedness Network, APN, are kind of hinting at me to put on a camp trip. Yeah, Pennsylvania Prepper. I didn't mean I didn't know what part of the Bible tour was. I just meant I don't follow it as well as I should, and so some of what people talk about, some of my friends, when they talk about their beliefs, I've got to look it up. So my wife was fine and didn't realize what my channel was until I got my first pack of stickers in the mail. And hey Tommy. And so when my first NWA Prepper stickers comes in, she goes, "Oh, it's that, is it?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And then Scout starts spewing about videos I'd been doing. I don't know. And then the cups. It's so silly. It is totally. Yes. So Badger, have you seen the green cups yet? They are the best. I don't have one with me because I just stickered them up. And so I got the cup, and the whole thing for the cup started. I don't like to go to somebody's house without a gift. I don't. If I come to a meeting, I want to bring food or I want to bring something to the host. And so there was a Viking meetup at a Viking festival in Heavener, Oklahoma. And I went over there, and the host was Bear Independent. And I I showed up and I thought, well, what am I don't know this guy. I don't know any of these people. We're not eating, so I can't bring food. And so I said, well, I see him drinking, coffee and stuff in his video, so I'll go get this cup and I've got this sticker that just came in. I'll slap it on the side and I'll give him a tan cup. And he liked it, and I liked it. When I gave it to him, he's like, "Man, thank you so much," and I could see the sincerity in his face. And then when I got back, one of my friends from work, this wonderful guy, absolutely one of the best people on the planet, Prepper Rob, he did a thing with APN and my son. I was kicked off a Dutch oven team because my son wanted to cook with him, and I gave him one as a gift, and he carries it everywhere. Everywhere. He is at a conference out of town, and he's drinking his coffee and his tea or his drinks out of a tan NWA Prepper cup. And then I sold a few because I can't afford to give them. I mean, I can't afford to give them away like I want to. And so I sold a few, and I went, okay. Well, then they killed the tan color where I couldn't get them, and I was frustrated. And I tried to get other colors, and I even did a vote, and the two colors came out great, and I was excited about them, but I didn't feel the love for that like I did the tan cups. And what I really wanted was olive drab, and they didn't make them, and I couldn't afford to go special, get special coating on a cup, and so it was really frustrating. Well, the other day I found green cups, and I was so excited, and so I've been going crazy squeezing money to get together so that when somebody wants to buy a cup at a trading or meetup, then I have the green cup because that's what I like. And the new shirt, because I ran out of shirts, and I don't do shirts. Number one, I don't do anything on credit because I don't do credit. So I say that I have one thing, this, and I'm sitting in it. Is the only thing I have a payment on, and it's little, and I used my dad's inheritance when he passed to pay for 90% of this truck. So my payment's really little, or I wouldn't own it. I would have bought something I could pay cash for. And so anyway, so the shirts, I ran out of shirts, and I had some people still wanting them. My core group didn't all have them, and so I just put in an order for new shirts when I could save up the money. And the new shirts are the green shirt with the tan letters. They're going to be awesome. I'll show you when I get them. Sorry, I completely forgot there were people typing. Those cups, I really like the cups. Don't show up with bacon. Yes, Terry, I get a rundown, and I felt so terrible. So the Arkansas Preparedness Network had an event at Devil's Den, which was amazing. The APN guys, Adam and Jason and Gordy, Bruce was there. But from what I saw, most of it was done by Adam, and that's because I was with Adam. So it was an amazing event, and they had a Dutch oven cook-off or a cast iron cook-off. Well, I already mentioned that my son Scout had a ringer because Prepper Rob is a competitive cast iron cooker. He used to be on a circuit, but I'm very blessed to get to work with him and be with him all the time. And so Scout's like, I want to go with Rob. And so my son asked him if he would come camping, which we'd never been camping together, and if he would bring his Dutch oven stuff or his cast iron to cook with Matthew. And so they ended up winning, but everything they made had bacon in it. Well, and then here comes the Shofarians and Pastor Joe Fox and Sister Kate, and so none of them can eat it because everything had bacon in it. It was delicious. Um, and I know they wanted to. They're like, oh, Scout, Rob, we'd love to taste what you had. And he had Matthew, what's his name? I don't remember. Scout had Matthew with him, one of his buddies from his Boy Scouts. And they barely helped Rob, but they helped him enough to get some of the credit. And my son sleeps with that plaque from that event over his bed. He's super proud of it. I have no idea how I got on that event. Oh, I do know. So that event was really good. And they've been asking me to try to do another event, something like that. We just had a Viking meetup in September that lots of people, way more than I thought would come, came, including several people on this live stream. And so probably in the spring, I'll be able, between now and then, I'm in the middle of a national leadership course that I'm on staff with. And so doing that is taking pretty much all of my available life, which it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm very honored to be on staff for this and to be teaching the leadership things that I'm teaching. It's great. So, yeah, I know what site you mean, Bobo, but I also read that Westhold Forge is around us too, and Richard will help us. Right, Richard? Richard will help us. So maybe we can get together an event in the spring that we can all come around and have a camping event. The thing is I want some people who RV camp to have their stuff too. Oh, Richard, I'm not traveling far from home, so it's going to be close. I don't know. We'll have to sit down for coffee. So well, it's getting late. I just got a text from my wife saying she's going to bed. Man, you guys have blessed me so much tonight. I started this by a fluke. Bobo, you kill me. Does the new coffee shop by your house know you by first name yet? So, Terry, you've kind of talked to me about where you're going to church or who you're going with, and I think that's huge. That's awesome. And I already told you I was talking about you with Steven, and that was part of what we were talking about with you. You're an inspiration, actually. I hope that doesn't surprise you, because I can't imagine it would. You're a great guy. All right, everyone. I am going to go in, and I'm going to tuck my kids into bed, and I'm going to bed. I will try to do some more live streams. It's me I don't know. It's just different for me. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep on ranting. You guys are the greatest. Before I go, somebody said before you go, Pennsylvania Prepper. You guys are welcome. I've enjoyed the conversation. Pennsylvania Prepper is doing a giveaway for ginseng seeds. So, is that Pennsylvania? Is that on your channel, or how can we get information about that out? Oh, it's on your channel. Okay. So, Bobo, if you're still here, which I think you are, you're in charge of reminding me about that tomorrow. Just say yes, Bobo, or send me a text. Because I'll see a butterfly and I'll forget until it's too late. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right. Guys, have a great night. Thanks for being here. And let's get ready.